trip to West Africa, and the team behind me was the Togo Go team. We just returned last Sunday evening, and just talking with a couple of folks. We're still recovering in multiple ways from the trip, but it was a great time. And I wanted to take a few moments, number one, to introduce the team, and then we're going to tell you a little bit about the week from both an ability to minister to physical need, as well as an ability to minister to spiritual need. Paul Legg went on the trip, orthopedic surgeon, Rob Mears, physical therapist, Ashley Casto and her husband John, both physician assistants, Julie DeTemple, primary care doctor, and Robin Darnell, pediatrician. So the team of 7, we left on Thursday of a week and a half ago, and then on our way there, encountered some difficulties with flights. Took a total of maybe 30 hours to get there. We ended up in Casablanca. Didn't plan to be there, but we were out of there midnight or so. And we arrived in Togo about 4 a.m. And so the first intervention that we saw where God was really part of this trip was when we were entering the country of Togo. We had packed 7 suitcases, 50-pound suitcases with medicines that had been donated to the hospital. That was $50,000 worth of medicine we were carrying on our persons. And I had some paperwork in both French and English that supposedly was going to help us get through this exchange. I had some cash in my pocket to serve as a possible thank you to help us get through that exchange as well. And so we were ready. We were prepared. This was important stuff. And so we arrived there. We were tired. We should have gotten there in the early evening. We were there early morning. But again, God's perfect timing. At the time we're there, the guys who were checking us were pretty tired. A lot of them were sitting down, kind of half asleep. The guy opens up one suitcase, kind of looks through some things, looks at paperwork, and says, just go. So no problem. We were able to get the medicines through. So we arrived there excited. We had a couple hours of sleep, and then we take the trip north to go to Togo from Lomé, which is the capital in the south. And so we arrived there, and right away, God showed that we were to be used. So Paul and I, on Saturday night, trauma start rolling in, and we start operating on folks. And it's a bit unusual, I think, for them to receive trauma patients like they received. But again, we were there. Paul, general orthopedics, has the ability to take care of these problems. And you're going to see some pictures flashing up maybe of some of the surgical people we took care of. But we get there, we start working. Days kind of become mixed because we were operating every day. But there was a night where Paul and I finished the day's work. We just laid down, ready to go to sleep. Probably just about ready to fade to sleep. The phone rings. Hey guys, I need you to come down here, another trauma needs taken care of. And Paul and I just looked at each other and said, this is like residency. What's going on here? Well, I thought we were past this. But so we're walking, got our headlights on at night, we're walking back to the hospital, and we go and we go do what God has blessed us to be able to do. And it was a full week for us from an orthopedic standpoint. Well, when we operate on people, that's one step in the process. The second step is they then need to get up and get walking, get moving. And wow, what a role Rob played in that. And to get these people the help they need in learning how to mobilize, learning how to get up and walk again. Some of these people had fractures and hadn't been able to really walk correctly for months, hadn't been able to use their arms or legs for months. And Rob worked just tirelessly with these people on getting them back to function, which is a very important part of things. The Castos were troopers. The clinic there is unbelievable. These people travel from hours away to be seen, to have some type of medical treatment. And they line up outside this clinic, and they will sit there for days waiting for people to address their issues. And so while every part of the team is doing one thing or another, Paul and I end up being in surgery most of the time, the Castos are there seeing these patients, administering appropriate treatment, putting on casts, determining which people might need surgery or might not need surgery. And we're just a huge, huge help in, again, showing Christ's love to the people of Togo. Julie's going to speak here in just a second about some of the spiritual needs that were met during the course of the week. And then Robin, the picture of the trip, I was just talking to Troy this morning, the picture of the trip Robin holding the baby. Robin cannot avoid picking up kids wherever they are. I'm sitting there going, you're going to get sick. I don't know what they've got. What are you doing? Robin just grabs these kids and hugs on them and loves them, and the kids are following her around everywhere. The pictures there, everywhere. These kids don't wear diapers, okay? And so Robin is picking up these kids, and they don't have diapers on. And my first thought is, that's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea. But it didn't matter where we were, and everybody jumped in. What a great week. The Gales are the folks we sponsor. ABWE is the mission organization, and what a work they're doing. These people have committed their lives to serving people who are in great need. And it's not just physical needs, although that's the draw, right? They come to a hospital that's better than any other hospital in the country to have their needs, their physical needs met. But once they get there, their spiritual needs become the forefront. Before every case we did, the anesthesia person prayed with the patient. Before we made an incision, we prayed before starting the case. Every patient that comes through the door, the chaplains there talk with them and present the gospel. And it was amazing to see what God did through the hospital there as far as meeting spiritual needs. Julie's going to talk more about that.
Good morning. I was very privileged for this to be my second tour in Togo, and I hope it's not my last. As Matt touched on, the spiritual needs of the patient were met tremendously when we were in Togo. I've been privileged to be a member of the missions committee here at Bible Center Church for the last 2 or 3 years, and I will tell you, we try very hard to be good stewards of the mission budget, to spend Bible Center's monies where impacts are being made for Christ. And I can assure you, having been there twice, that Michael and Cheryl Gale and the HBB Hospital are where decisions are being made for Christ. Again, we had a huge medical impact. That's what we do. That's the easy part. But at the hospital, there was a huge spiritual impact. As Matt alluded to, every single day at the hospital there are spiritual rounds, and there's a pastoral team that goes around. The first page of the patient's chart is their spiritual history. And lots of people made decisions for Christ. I don't know if the picture showed, but John and Matt had put a hot pink cast on this old African man one night after he'd suffered a trauma. And the minister that was there, the chaplain, said that both that man and 5 of his sons got saved at the bedside because he broke his ankle. Just countless stories. We also had the privilege of having dinner with the chaplains one night, and they kind of gave us their testimony. And the chaplain, the head chaplain of the hospital, actually got saved when his mother was a patient at HBB, and he came to know Christ, and now he's running the chaplain program. Just amazing, amazing stories. We were blessed one day. We ate lunch quickly so we could walk downtown, and I say downtown, walk into the village and play soccer with the kids. And on our way back, John was carrying the soccer ball, and we met a young man. His name was Ali, and he was there with his friend David. And he said, "What are you guys going to do with that ball?" Well, unfortunately, the ball had a hole in it. We ended up giving them the ball because they thought they could fix it. We're like, "Well, what do you want this ball for?" And he said, "Well, when the kids aren't in school, I show up every afternoon at the local soccer field, and the kids come running because they want to play soccer, and I tell them the love of Jesus and preach to them the story of the gospel." And so needless to say, he got our ball. And he was a member of one of the church plants that is associated with the hospital. Again, there's so many levels of salvation, so many levels of witnessing go on at this hospital. The head PA in the clinic also serves as the pastor of one of the local churches. They were up to, I think they said, 44 church plants that are associated with this hospital. So again, not only are amazing medical things going on at the hospital, but amazing spiritual things are too. So we asked, on behalf of the team, that you continue to pray for Dr. Gale and his wife Cheryl, for all the other healthcare providers that are there. Pray for the patients of Togo, and pray that we might be led to go back. We hope that this is not an occasional thing. We want to try to make this a regular thing. And pray that you might be convicted that you would go on a mission trip someday, whether it be as part of this team or part of one of the other Go teams at Bible Center. Thank you.
We should probably pass the sign-up sheets right now, right? We're all there. For 70 plus years, Bible Center Church has had a focus on world missions, on global outreach. Our spiritual vitality as a congregation is very much tied to wanting to get the word out, seeing people come to Christ. in Charleston, Kanawha County, and indeed around the world. So thank you so much to this team. What an effective ministry they had, both medically and spiritually. And let's do it again soon.